Central Park Karen, you twat. Turn your phone. Let me show you something. Now, if you thought Jordan Peele was good at filming racist white women, let me introduce you to Christian Cooper.
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Please tell them whatever you like.
I'm being threatened by a man in the Ramble. Please send the cops immediately.
Morning of May 26, Christian, a black man and avid bird watcher, yes, they exist, came across the most dangerous bird of all, the North American white claw. You're probably familiar with the K word that's used to describe this species of white woman, cunt. Her name is Amy Cooper, no relation to Christian Cooper. Obviously, Amy called the cops with a fake cry that would put Jussie Smollett to shame and said Christian was threatening her life. What was Birdman doing to put cunty Karen's life at risk? Did he threaten to stab her? Did he threaten to shoot her? Did he threaten to remove Friends from Netflix? No. What was the violent act that he committed? He asked her to obey the park rules and put a leash on her dog. The audacity. Amy didn't know how to react after being told what to do by a minority that wasn't her spin class instructor. She did what most white feminists do when black people ask for assistance. Nothing. Then Christian took matters into his own hands. He tried to do the unthinkable. He leveled against her the most dangerous and intimidating act of violence a powerful black man can do. He attempted to give her dog treats. Unforgivable. She was irate and would rather strangle the life out of her Cocker Spaniel than let him enjoy a black man's bacon bits. And then Christian started recording. At first, the video looks like it's going to be some freaky interracial POV, but it's not. In this video, it's only the dog that's hung. The very next day, Amy released a formal statement owning up to and taking full accountability for her actions. And by that, I mean she said, "I'm not racist." Really? Not racist? You called the cops on this guy. What was he going to do? Rape you? He was wearing binoculars. Binoculars are strictly for consensual sex. How do you think we find those clits? Oh, but wait, he was wearing something more terrifying than that. Look, she even says it.
African-American with a bicycle helmet?
Black man with a bicycle helmet? Why are you scared of that? You're not at a Yemenite wedding. In her apology, she said she's not racist. She was just terrified. Hey, retardette, you can't be not racist and terrified of a black man bird watching. That's like saying, I'm not homophobic. I was just repulsed when those guys shared an ice cream. Also, how are you terrified? You approach him, Lesbo Liz Lemon, in your stupid single middle-aged white woman starter pack outfit, your loose hoodie and those 3/4 length, or as you call them, 3/5 length leggings. And then she gave up her dog because she didn't want to walk it anymore. Amy, maybe you should get a pet you don't need to walk. I don't know, like a bird. And if you ever go out of town, I know a guy who would love to watch it for you. Now, here's why this video frustrates me. She's not just racist. She's actually worse. She weaponized systemic racism to intimidate this black dude. You don't need mace when you got race. She's fully aware of black America's relationship with the police. And in the best case scenario, she wanted to scare him enough to leave. And in the worst case scenario, she was okay with him being killed by the cops. And if you don't think that's a possibility, where the fuck have you been all week? The same day the New York police were called on Christian Cooper, the Minneapolis police were called on George Floyd. And he was murdered in broad daylight by 4 active police officers. No due process, no innocent until proven guilty, no trial by jury, public execution at the hands of the state. And it blows my fucking mind that this could be a politically split issue. Where are the conservatives that advocate for constitutional rights and want to push back against the police state, huh? Every life is precious when it's an abortion, but not when black people get choked out? You're mad the lockdown is infringing on your constitutional rights. Well, then you should be fucking furious that George Floyd was stripped of his right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This supports your core values. So stop jerking off to police state conspiracies online while the police state is literally murdering American citizens in broad daylight. And people on the left, stop coming up with word games to absolve yourselves of any action. I'm crippled by my white guilt. I'm checking my white privilege, or whatever else they teach you at art school. Fuck checking your privilege. Use your privilege to disrupt legitimate racism and oppression. You lamenting about your white guilt does very little to fix the problem. Slavery wasn't ended by checking your privilege, and segregation wasn't ended by clamoring on about your white guilt. No. It was ended on the battlefield and by usurping positions of power from racist politicians and passing more equitable legislation. So demanding the indictment of the cops that killed George Floyd is the bare minimum of what you should do. White people, you can't insist on black people integrating into white society and then call the cops on them every time they do. From a gym in Minneapolis to an apartment building in St. Louis to a park in New York City. It's not enough to be not racist. You have to be anti-racist. Lobbying and protesting for criminal justice reform does not only benefit black America or white America, or Democrat America, or Republican America. It benefits the United States of America. Look, I'm not saying we need to agree on every issue. We're an incredibly diverse country, both in culture and in ideas. But there is one issue which we cannot afford to be morally split on. And that's fighting racism and corrupt institutions, especially when innocent Americans are being killed under the knee of authority. There is no two sides to this story. There is no more information to come out. There is right and wrong. The choice is yours.